External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar shames Pakistan on support to terror.
This message has been very firm with Pakistan. If acts of terrorism are committed, there will be consequences.
Calls 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks a turning point in the relationship.
I would say the 26/11 Mumbai terrorist attack, I would regard it in many ways as the turning point. I think that was when Indian public opinion across political parties, average Indians said, this is now too much.
The EAM slams Pakistan for its double game in Afghanistan.
So Pakistan was playing a double game. It was with the Taliban and the Afghan, those opposed to the Americans, and it was also playing with.
Murshidabad violence, Bangladesh link under investigation.
इसमें बांग्लादेश का हाथ है. अगर हाथ है कि इसको जमींदारी तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है कि बीएसएफ बॉर्डर संभालते हैं, हम नहीं संभालते हैं.
Are Pakistan and Bangladesh colluding to target India? That's our top focus on India First. So on the 15th of April, Pakistan's Foreign Office spoke on the Waqf Amendment Act, claiming that the Waqf Act infringed on religious and economic rights of Indian Muslims and would lead to their marginalization, or as Pakistan puts it, further marginalization. The Minister of External Affairs hit right back. Randhir Jaiswal, the spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs, he strongly rejected Pakistan's bizarre comments. He said they are motivated, they are baseless, and he rightly said Pakistan has absolutely no locus standi to comment on India's internal legislative affairs and matters. He also showed a mirror to the state sponsor of radical Islamist terror, Pakistan, said, focus on your own. Abysmal was the word that he used, and rather disgraceful is the word I'm using, record on minority rights in Pakistan. But shameless as Pakistan is, and now sadly through Pakistan's proxy, Bangladesh under the Muhammad Yunus regime, the interference continues. Pakistan sends terrorists and Bangladesh now stands accused of sending rioters into Murshidabad. What should India's response be? Do internal politics in India actually enable Pakistan and its proxy Bangladesh under Muhammad Yunus to interfere in our internal affairs? What should India's strategy be? We discuss. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started. So from the abrogation of Article 317 Jammu and Kashmir to the Citizenship Amendment Act and now the Waqf Amendment Act, Pakistan and now sadly under Muhammad Yunus, Pakistan's proxy Bangladesh, they're directly interfering in India's internal affairs. Now, through past several decades, Pakistan used radical Islamist terror in Jammu and Kashmir, and the rest of the country used support to ISI-supported Khalistani elements in Punjab. But now that Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror has been defeated and soundly and roundly defeated, Pakistan's proxy Bangladesh under Muhammad Yunus regime stands accused of sending rioters into Murshidabad to create communal tensions in India. Hindu homes were specifically targeted in Murshidabad. The state chief minister has quoted reports saying that elements from Bangladesh came and carried out the situation, the violence in Murshidabad. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has shown a mirror to Pakistan, not just on terror, but also on abandoning Pakistan's own minorities. We'll get you more in this report.
The very terrorism industry, which they had followed, came back to bite them.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar exposes Pakistan on terror. Speaking at an event in Gujarat, Dr. Jaishankar raised 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks and called the Pakistan state-sponsored terror attack a turning point in India-Pakistan relations.
26/11 Mumbai terrorist attack, I would regard it in many ways as the turning point. I think that was when Indian public opinion across political parties, average Indians said, this is now too much. The country cannot accept this kind of behavior from a neighbor.
Not only this, he criticized Pakistan's double game during the US presence in Afghanistan and said the same terror infrastructure eventually turned against Pakistan.
They were trying to extract something from Afghanistan, which was the Americans and the NATO were in Afghanistan. So Pakistan was playing a double game. Now, every double game comes to an end. Ab unka bhi wahi hua. That some stage the Americans said, ab bahut ho gaya, we are leaving. So whatever benefits they were getting out of the double game, that also went down.
This comes just days after India successfully extradited 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks plotter Tahavur Hussain Rana from the United States of America. Last month, Dr. Jaishankar had called Pakistan a neighbor with a fanatical and bigoted mindset.
We are tracking the treatment of minorities. We are making our position very well known. We are taking it up at the international level. But we as a government and a country cannot change the mindset of a neighbor which is a fanatical, bigoted mindset. So even Indira Gandhi could not do it.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Home Affairs is probing a possible Bangladesh link to the violence in Murshidabad in Bengal. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee claimed it was the border security force that was responsible for permitting the violence in Murshidabad, enabling the troublemakers to come into India.
इसमें बांग्लादेश का हाथ है. अगर हाथ है तो इसको जमींदारी तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है कि बीएसएफ बॉर्डर संभालते हैं, हम नहीं संभालते हैं. ये अधिकार हमारे पास नहीं है. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का पास बॉर्डर संभालने का अधिकार नहीं है. तो आपने क्यों अलाउ किया?
As politics escalates on Murshidabad, the real question remains, are Pakistan and Bangladesh colluding to interfere in India's internal affairs? Bureau Report, India Today. And look at Pakistan. They don't have money for 2 square meals a day. At least majority in Pakistan don't. Pakistan goes to the entire world with a begging bowl. Koi $1 billion de do, give me $2 billion, give me this, give me that. Always going everywhere. Their passport is amongst the worst in the world. But what's their wet dream? We'll cut off India. We'll slice India into two. Muslims will do this. Muslims will do that. We'll get you to hear what Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir said. He said, Muslims and Hindus are two different entities. We're completely different. We're poles apart or worlds to that effect. But what locus does Pakistan have to interfere in India's internal affairs? Comment on CA or Waqf law. And is there a pattern? First, spread rumors. Use social media to spread rumors and then resort to riots. Does India need to be more proactive to deal with this, with either the fifth column or this fifth generation warfare that's being waged? Joining me on India First is Ambassador Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner, Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh. Sushant Sareen is Senior Fellow at the Observer Research Foundation. Mona Alam is a Senior Journalist who joins us from Pakistan. Mona, your country is in flames. Your soldiers are dying all across your AFPAC border and all along the Durand line. Your minorities have no rights, and let alone Sikhs or Hindus or Christians. Even Shias are being killed. Ahmadis are being killed by Sunnis in Pakistan. What locus does Pakistan have to comment on India's internal affairs? On Waqf, for example, that's a decision that the Indian Parliament has taken. If there are issues, Indian courts will deal with it. Pakistan ka governor hai?
Thanks a lot, Gaurav. Seems like you and a lot of people there out there in India are disgruntled about Pakistani media doing programs on Indian-centric subjects, and say for example, Waqf bill, or even when the Citizenship Amendment Act had happened. they were,
Permit me a
kind of
small
trying to.
permit me one line. We don't care what your media does. We just saw the reaction of your foreign office. Your media didn't have the guts to do one story on that Pakistani Tahavur Hussain Rana who was sent back to India. Not on social media, not on media. So we don't care about media because we know the media is run by the ISI. Those who don't listen to ISI officers, land up in jail. So I'm not talking about Pakistani media. You do a story on Tahavur Hussain Rana and his role in 2611. I will talk about Pakistani media. Till then, tell me about your foreign office. Brief interjection. Go on, madam.
Well, I commented about media because you had played, I think, 3 or 4 clips from Pakistani media. Those weren't from Foreign Office. So obviously, I am also compelled to speak about the same and comment about the same. They were just making a point about the basis of basically partition that Muslims as a minority, though they're not a minority as such in India, they're a huge majority. But still, despite that, despite their majority, and despite their huge stakes there in India as respectable citizens, the kind of rights that they enjoy, or should I say, the kind of rights that they do not enjoy, happens to be a matter of subject here in Pakistan. But these were opinion makers who were just making their comments and making their opinions about the matter. I think we shouldn't forget about how abuzz was the Indian media when this Jafar Express attack had happened here in Pakistan. I, as a choice, only chose to participate in your program because I felt, that there was a sense of sensitivity when you covered that subject. But I'm sorry if I comment about the rest of your colleagues. They were absolutely poisonous about the matter. And they were doing as though, they were jubilating the loss of innocent human lives here in Balochistan at the hands of BLA terrorists. And of course, I would reserve my comment beyond this. But I never questioned Indian media's intention when all of this was happening, though, the intention was very clear. I mean, it was, I think,
But the kind of
Prime
words
Minister Modi.
we've used, okay, the
Yeah.
words we've used, any loss of innocent life is very, very painful. But in Pakistan's instance, it's state-sponsored. That is what hurts. Terror, one man's terrorist cannot be another man's freedom fighter. But the fact remains, when there is state support to terror, it is traumatic. But Sushant Sareen, what business does Pakistan have to interfere in India's internal affairs unless it's only diversionary tactics so that people who don't have enough money for 2 square meals a day, they don't say anything about the failure of Pakistan's state. They just unite on that Muslim jihad thing about whatever may be happening in India. It's playing that Muslim card.
Yeah, but that's the basis on which that country has come into existence, and that's also the basis on which the country is being riven apart. And frankly speaking, it's rich of the Pakistanis to say that, why were the Indians jubilant? Yeah, we will be jubilant if there is problems in Pakistan because of all the kind of terrorism that you've sponsored in India over the last 40 years. And the thousands of people that you killed out here, not only in Punjab, in Kashmir, but also other parts in India, by you sending your terrorists, planting bombs, doing all kinds of nefarious activity. So please don't expect any sympathy from us, at least from most of us. You're not going to get any sympathy. Secondly, on this whole issue, I don't know what Mona's screaming about now. She keeps talking about CAA. I didn't understand whether Pakistanis are very desirous of Indian citizenship. You got a country of your own. This is this great haven
No,
for
thank you
Muslims.
very much.
Be happy with it. Then what is your problem with CAA? If, for example, if we are not giving any citizenship rights to Pakistani Muslims coming into India, what is your problem with it? How is that discrimination against you?
Pakistani Muslims, why would they go to India
So why
when
would
they were the ones who
so
chose to
They did
chose to,
maximum breastfeeding.
part ways with India
if we
long
pass
ago,
this law,
for
Mona
around
Alam,
80 years ago? It's not about
or
Pakistani Muslims,
if we
it's about
pass,
Muslims across the country, across the globe, trying to come to India for
Why?
whatsoever
If Muslims
concerns in
are
their own
unsafe, why
country.
are Muslims
But
trying to
this
so
move
was
to
Mona,
a
India?
discriminatory
one
act
second, Gaurav.
because
Mona,
only Muslims were
obviously,
singled
you
out.
are very opinionated, but not very educated. If you had read the CAA law, it only applied to 3 countries. It applied to Afghanistan, it applied to Pakistan, and it applied to Bangladesh. Now, please tell me, what is a Pakistani Muslim's objection to CAA? Please tell me that. That you are not going to get Indian
Pakistani
citizenship.
Muslims, yeah, I'll tell
So,
you, because Pakistani Muslims never wanted to, they were the ones. If I would just want to jog down your memory, 80 years ago, they were the ones who chose to part ways with
then
India.
CAA says
So
you are
it's
not
not
going to get
Pakistani Muslims who are willing to or wanting to come to India.
What are you
It's
tweeting
about,
about?
You mentioned about Bangladesh, you mentioned about Afghanistan, and as far as I know, you were the harshest critics of Taliban coming in and taking over Afghanistan, and you were the ones. It was India who told us how brutal the Taliban are and how
Yes,
brutal
of
their
course.
regime is
But
going to
now
be.
they are doing to you what you have done to other people. So what's the problem? I don't
Okay,
find any.
No,
let
if
me
they
quickly
wanted
bring
to,
in.
if
Let
they
me
wanted
quickly
to come
also
to
bring in.
India, why would you part them? If you are
Let me
if you are
quickly
so
bring in
sympathetic
Ambassador
about it,
Sikri. I want to bring in Ambassador Veena
or
Sikri
if
for a
otherwise
moment.
this will just be a double game.
No,
This is
so
not a
my
double
point,
game.
Ambassador
This is a war
Sikri,
game. This is a
my
war
point,
game.
Ambassador Veena Sikri, is if Professor Muhammad Yunus, is he taking a leaf out of Pakistan's book? Is he also pursuing that same radical Islamist agenda? Clearly, he can't expect money from Pakistan. He can't expect food from Pakistan. Cotton coming from Pakistan would be more expensive. Or is he, is he cutting his nose to spite his face, madam?
Well, I think we have to understand one thing, that the powers that be who claim to be in power in Bangladesh, the Jamaat-e-Islami first and foremost, supporting Muhammad Yunus from the back, and also Islamist organizations like Hizb ut-Tahrir and Hifazat-e-Islam, these are the losing forces of 1971. Pakistan, Jamaat-e-Islami, Razakars. They think they are in power now, and they're trying to reverse what has happened in 1971 and since 1971. And that is why Muhammad Yunus is just playing their game. And all, for example, you talked about yarn. You talked about yarn. Now, the yarn has been banned by coming from India through the land ports because that makes it competitive. They want to get Pakistani cotton and maybe even US cotton, but it is not competitive at all because it's far more expensive and it takes much longer to arrive. So to make Indian cotton yarn more and more expensive, they banned the land route, which is the cheapest, and said it can come through other routes. These are all methodologies they are adopting to replace whatever India is supplying to Pakistan. A few weeks ago, there was a Turkish delegation in Dhaka, and they assured Muhammad Yunus, everything that India is sending you, we will take over. So, this is the kind of effort that is being made. And you must remember, it's just not trade, it's terrorism as well. Because the ships that are coming from Pakistan to Bangladesh, already known to carry weapons, already known they're carrying, terrorists who've got off the ship and then disappeared into the woodwork. And it is already known that Pakistan is doing today what they were doing when I was High Commissioner between 2003 and 2006, when Begum Khalida Zia was Prime Minister. And they were enticing Bangladesh to be a part of their anti-Indian terrorist network. And Muhammad Yunus is fully playing the game. That's the game he's playing.
Which is so sad. I mean, he's a Nobel laureate. As a Nobel laureate supporting terrorism, it's just so bizarre. But, I want you to listen in to Pakistan's Army Chief General Asim Munir. Look at him spew venom. He's a 4-star general in Pakistan. Watch him spew venom against Hindus. Hear him propagate that two-nation theory, which he says failed in 1971 when Bangladesh got independence from Bangladesh. He says children must be taught, since it's easy to brainwash children and youth. He's a 4-star general in Pakistan. He speaks Arabic more fluently than he does military tactics, because if he knew anything about military tactics, so many Pakistan Army soldiers would not be massacred along the Durand line. But listen in.
पाकिस्तान की कहानी अपने बच्चों को जो है आपने जरूर सुनानी है ताकि वो पाकिस्तान की कहानी ना भूलें. Well, our forefathers, they thought that we are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect of life. Our religion is different, our customs are different, our traditions are different, our thoughts are different, our ambitions are different. That was the foundation of the two-nation theory that was laid there, that we are two nations, we are not one nation. So because of that, our forefathers, they struggled, mounted that incessant struggle to create this country. Our forefathers, they have sacrificed immensely, and we have sacrificed a lot for the creation of this country. And we know how to defend it. My dear brothers and sisters and sons and daughters, please don't forget the story of Pakistan. And don't forget to narrate the story of Pakistan to your next generation, so that their bond with Pakistan, it never weakens. Whether it is the 3rd generation or the 4th generation or the 5th generation, they know that what Pakistan is for them. आज तक इंसानियत की तारीख में सिर्फ 2 रियासतें हैं जो कलमे की बुनियाद पर बनी हैं. पहली जो थी उसका नाम है रियासत तैयबा, क्योंकि तैयबा जो है वो नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने उसको नाम दिया था, और जबकि कुरान में उसका नाम है यसरब, या अहले यसरिबा ला मुकाम लकुम फरजिउ, ये कुरान में नाम है उसका, जो आज जिसको मदीना अल मुनव्वरा कहा जाता है। और दूसरी रियासत जो है वो उसके 1300 साल के बाद अल्लाह ताला ने ये आपकी बनाई है, कलमे की बुनियाद के ऊपर।
Clearly, all that he says, Mona, does not save Pakistani soldiers from being massacred by fellow Muslims who come from Afghanistan. So somewhere down the line, whether it was the Riyasat that was formed on Kalma in 1947, it hasn't helped Pakistan.
Well, he was trying to make a point about the two-nation theory. I mean, this is a factual theory. It's taught across schools of the globe, not just in Pakistan. Because even Muhammad Ali Jinnah was once, he wanted to coexist. And he really wanted a united India. We took the struggle of freedom against the British together. But unfortunately, things didn't work out later, which eventually resulted in the two-nation theory.
The two-nation theory, Afghanistan is also a Muslim country, Pakistan is also a Muslim country, but they are killing your people. So that two-nation theory is an absolute failure. And it's each time Pakistan was in trouble,
Thank you for acknowledging that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism being exported from
Afghanistan. I didn't say you're a victim of terror. I've just said Muslims are killing Muslims.
Afghanistan is killing innocent Pakistanis. Yeah.
I didn't say innocent. I said Pakistani Muslims are being killed by Afghan Muslims. It was just on the Muslim bit. That two-nation theory is an absolute failure. Each time Muslims in Pakistan wanted help, Hindus of India have helped. But I want to bring in Sushant Sareen and Ambassador Veena Sikri, since I just have a couple of minutes left on this broadcast. And Sushant Sareen, clearly the two-nation theory doesn't work when it comes to Afghanistanis killing Pakistanis.
No, it doesn't work. But look, again, if there is the two-nation theory in which the Pakistanis believe so much, then why are they cribbing about the Waqf Amendment Act? How does it concern them? India is the Hindu state, right? According to them. So what are they worried about? Why are they making such a big song and dance about it? Why are they worried about whatever was left with the Muslims out here? Because the Jamaat-e-Islami had said it long years back during the Munir Commission report time, that yes, if India becomes a Hindu state, we have absolutely no problem. So why does Mona Alam and others of her ilk have a problem? One. Secondly, Ambassador Sikri was talking about importing cotton from Pakistan. Pakistan doesn't have cotton for its own bloody mills, yaar. Where are they going to import cotton from Pakistan? Pakistanis are importing cotton from elsewhere. They have 50% shortage of cotton in their country today. The Bangladeshis can't import cotton from China because Chinese cotton is subject to sanctions of the Americans and the Europeans. So they can't import cotton from there. So if they want to buy cotton from the United States, be my guest, destroy your garment industry. I think my garment exporter is getting a fabulous opportunity, and we should and never give these Bangladeshis another.
Absolutely. The last 30 seconds I have, Ambassador Sikri, this two-nation theory, they've already taken one Pakistan. Is their aim, as Sardar Patel also feared, they've taken one Pakistan, now they want to create another. Is that what appears to be happening, especially in some of our very difficult border belt areas?
Absolutely. Actually, the two-nation theory collapsed, completely smashed to smithereens in 1971, when Bangladesh, the creation of Bangladesh, when Bangladesh was born in 1971. And now, because they think they have a chance, because they've had this coup, regime change operation, nobody's calling it a spontaneous student uprising. And now they think they have a time to revive what they call the federation with Bangladesh. It's not going to work because the people of Bangladesh are completely unhappy with the situation, and they're not buying at all what Mohammed Yunus is trying to do. So I think this is completely, they're trying to expose, bring terrorism into Bangladesh. It will burn the hands of the Pakistan who is sending this terrorism to Bangladesh.
Oh,
it's not
absolutely.
Going to burn
they've burnt their fingers with Afghanistan. Perhaps they'll burn their fingers even further. But we will wait, watch, and continue to report. Mona Alam, Ambassador Sikri, and Sushant Sareen for joining me here on India First. Many thanks.